Hello YouTube, my name is Myles Anderson. I'm a professional joke explainer, and today we're looking at Bryan Callen, one of the best comedians working today.
You know, I wanted to be a hero. That's really literally, I just thought
Just right off the bat, incredible power stance that he's got on stage. He looks like he is extremely commanding and ready to make these people laugh.
I was going to be the kind of guy that vanquishes evil and protects the innocent. I've never fucking killed a bad guy once. I've never done anything heroic. I want to be that. I would kill I want to rescue a woman from a tower. I want to fight my fucking kick the door open and just have her like, you know, and I'm like, come with me. I fucking grab her. I throw her on my shoulder. I could run her, but my legs are too long and heroic. She can't fucking keep up. She can't. I'm too powerful. She's in high heels. She can't, you know, her breasts are too big and natural. There's too much. Just fucking come with me, you know. Hey! And I'm wet, my hair, I don't know why. And she's on my back. She's like, holy shit. She's not my hero. She's like, holy shit.
So kind of the joke here is that he wishes that he was a hero, but he's not, and he's sort of playing out a hero fantasy. He has a fantasy that he can walk really fast, and that he has really thick hair, and that he's rescuing a woman with big natural breasts.
He feels like warm, moving wood. Whatever, I don't know. I don't know what she thinks. Well, I'm just, you know, she touches my back. She's like, oh my God, is that a...
She feels like a woman, he feels like warm, moving wood. So again, kind of an absurd sort of fantasy, very funny.
A barrel of snakes? I'm like, well, you know, because my back, because when you're a hero, you use your back. On your back, heroes have huge backs because they pull children out of wells. That movement right there gets your back. You fucking use it a lot when you do kung fu in an open field. This movement there. Or when you run with wild horses. They flank you.
But kind of the joke is it's a physical bit. People are just kind of laughing at what his body is like here.
Or when you're raising your people, like fucking, let's go! Just this, anyway, the point is, she's on my back. I'm mowing her captors down, just go. She's like, ah! I'm like, calm down! Because I have a very soothing mouth, don't be weird. And just,
So this is kind of like a sexual fantasy that he's sort of playing out in front of a live audience here, and he's kind of making sure that he's flexing his muscles a lot as well. So it's just kind of funny because it's just so absurd.
I have bandoleros. That's Spanish for bandolero. No, because I'm not American. I'm not me. But I don't have a hero's name. Bryan Callen. Nobody ever was like, oh my God, Bryan's here, we're safe now, Bryan!
The joke is that Bryan is a terrible name.
Fuck that. No, I have in my fantasy, in my movie, I have a fucking Spanish nickname. I'm that bad, I kick the fucking, she's like, El gato. Anything in Spanish, el gato, el escorpión, even butterfly if you say it slowly. Mariposa. Okay, an awesome movie. Just kick it.
So kind of the joke is that he's, people are expecting him to just say like word-based jokes here, but he subverts their expectations and just sort of acts out like a sexual fantasy for everybody. So I got a bit of a bait and switch.
I lost my pants probably just because in the fight up the tower, they got ripped off.
Yeah,
I don't know what happened.
Now.
And I got to tie my genitals to my right leg because I got a piece on me. When I run that fast, I get major floppage. Heroes don't have. I'm not walking around with a dud here. It's a piece. I use a piece of coarse hemp rope.
The joke is that he's got a huge penis.
Not comfortable, but it keeps me disciplined and honest. fucking shirt's ripped, of course, and obviously. When you're El Gato, your shirt is always ripped. Because when you fight, guys cut you, you're like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? And women, they ovulate, they start producing estrogen, they pull at your shirt, they can't help themselves. They don't even give you time to pull it off. They're just like, Anyway, you have to have a huge shirt budget if you're El Gato.
So that was sort of the whole bit there from the first clip. A lot of people were expecting him to sort of say something funny, but instead he did something funny, which of course was that he acted out his sexual fantasy of being a hero and saving a woman with big natural breasts and using his enormous penis to then probably have sex with her. So very funny because it's just kind of not what you're expecting when you go to a comedy show, and the crowd loves it.
I'm sore.
Okay, so we got a new clip of Bryan Callen here, one of the best comedians working today. It looks like he's at the Laugh Factory.
I've been training. I'm not crazy. I don't do. This workout shit. This CrossFit stuff that I don't get.
So he's doing the power stance again, very wide stance. He likes to point his groin towards the audience. It's a very dominant position, and the crowd loves it.
Get it with the kettlebells and then the flipping tires. I was doing and then the snatching. What the fuck? When do you ever use this? When people work out that much, the world becomes a gym. Where I was like, I don't think I need this move. And the guy was like, you use that movement every day of your life, bro. I was like, no, I don't.
So kind of the joke there is just kind of the funny movement that he's making by kind of crouching and lifting up a lot.
The only time I'd ever use that movement, I thought about it, is if I was hiking and my face was really hot and I came across a babbling brook and I wanted water on my face. It's the only way. Either that or if there was a baby trapped under a smart car, then I got it! And then I'd sidekick the baby to safety.
So obviously the joke here is that that exercise, his trainer told Bryan that you'll use that movement every day in your life, and Bryan is pointing out how absurd that would be. There's only a very small, very funny set of circumstances that you would use that movement in.
Should never tell you. No, I'm just tired of workout culture. I'm tired of dudes on Instagram in this with an open shirt. Who the fuck? With like Protein Monday. Don't you have a friend who could punch you in the face?
So he's making fun of the poses that a lot of men were doing on Instagram at this time. Kind of sort of the gym bros.
I mean, you gotta stay. I believe in exercise. You gotta stay alive. I don't, but overdoing it. For me, I play tennis, I street fight, I power fuck, but that's it. I keep myself just to keep comprehensive.
So kind of the joke here is that he street fights and has sexual power when he has sex. Okay, so that was kind of the joke there. That he doesn't like gym culture, that he kind of did an impression of what a gym guy is like, and then he says, I have sex very well. So that's sort of the joke there.
The point I'm making is that...
Okay, so we got another Bryan Callen clip here. It looks like he's at the Laugh Factory. Bryan Callen is one of the best comedians working today.
Is that there's just ways to get in shape and look sexy at the same time. That's what I'm trying to say. Churning butter, by the way, I don't know if anybody's ever churned butter. You got a vat of milk, don't let it go to waste. You can do some very sexy things with that. You take a long piece of hickory, a vat of milk, and just churn that. Now, a lot of times they'll churn this way. That's proper, I guess, if you talk to people from Kentucky. But they can kiss my ass, all right? You can also do it like this.
Using the mic stand as a prop, very smart.
Works your core. Great.
Okay, so another classic Bryan Callen bit here. The joke is just sort of that his body is moving around. Funny stuff.
Oh, God. I love churning butter. I always feel like a dairy magician after I'm done, too. I do. What was milk is now butter. I give myself a little reward, too. You got to reward yourself after your workout. I'll just knife a hand, reach in, grab myself a liberal handful. I mean a liberal handful. Yeah. I'll just give myself a raw butter bath. Holy shit. Oh, that's so good.
Okay, so the joke here again is that he's sort of, instead of like saying something funny, he's just sort of acting out a bizarre sexual fetish that he has, which is super funny because, again, it's not what you expect.
Listen, I don't give a shit. You've been married 25 years. Your woman comes in, sees you giving yourself a butter bath. I don't care how liberated, how educated, everything stops. It just taps into the DNA. They don't know how to put it into context. The purse drops. They're just like, what the are you doing in the middle of my living room? Nothing. Just giving myself a butter bath, that's all. It's not illegal, is it? I mean, you ain't the butter police, are you? Butter police? Let me tell you something right now. She is the butter police. She best slap them cuffs on real tight. Because I guarantee my wrists will be all kinds of buttery. And I might just slip out. She's either going to want pancakes or she's going to want an F to the uck.
Okay, so that was that clip there. The joke there is that that churning butter is a good ab workout, and then afterwards you can rub the butter on yourself in a sexual way, and then if a woman comes in the room, you can then have sex with her covered in butter. So again, the comedy kind of happens from the crowd expectation that a comedian's going to go on stage and just kind of do traditional stand-up where they just tell jokes. But Bryan Callen is such a genius that he flips the whole thing on his head. Instead of telling jokes, he just goes up there and kind of writhes around and kind of acts out sexual fetishes and fantasies that he would like to do to himself and other people. And the crowd just loves it because it's just not what they expect. And it's so funny. He's one of the best for sure. All right, that one's an hour. We're not going to watch that one.
Bryan Callen, ladies and gentlemen.
I also
All
want
right.
this. I don't know.
We have another clip here of Bryan Callen at the Laugh Factory. And he's on the Kevin Nealon show. I assume Kevin Nealon is like another comedian. But Bryan Callen is definitely one of the best. So huge privilege for Kevin Nealon to have Bryan Callen on his show. Very exciting. So let's see how he does.
I don't know if this is funny, but I've always wanted to be a brilliant pianist, and I want to sweat. I want to have hair that's beaded in sweat, and I'm playing, and I'm
So again, you think he's going to say something funny, but then he just starts acting out a fantasy that he has, And so he's, again, the callback that he's got, he wishes that he had hair, Very funny stuff. And he's wishing that he could play the piano and be a pianist.
I'm a masterpiece, and I won't stop. You're like, Bryan, your fingers are bleeding, and I don't care, man. I'm making music. Why is music so important? Because it lives in my breast. I want to say that, and then go back to it like that. And the same I want to do the same if I'm sculpting. I'm covered in clay, but I'm making this insane, incredible. Mother Russia crying over it. It's so real, and somehow I'm one man. I'm using scaffolding. It's as tall as the Laugh Factory. How does he do it? It's so real. Passion.
But what's your body fat now?
It's funny.
Okay, so then it just kind of goes into a podcast. So that bit there is very similar to what we've seen before. The first clip we watched, he came out on stage and he said, "I wish I was a hero that had a bunch of hair." And then on this clip, he comes out on stage. People think, "Oh, this is going to be another, regular comedian just going to tell some jokes." No, he goes out and tells the crowd he wishes that he was very good at playing the piano and that he had a lot of hair and that he could sculpt sculptures. So the joke is that obviously he can't do any of these things. And so it's kind of funny to see a man who really wishes he could have these things and do that stuff, but he can't. So the joke is that he's kind of pathetic. Very funny stuff from Bryan Callen. If you guys like him, he's all over various streaming services. He's got a lot of stand-up specials out. I highly recommend you watch them. He's one of the best comedians working today. If you guys liked my explanations, we're going to be doing more of these videos in the future. So please like and subscribe to the channel. And I've been Myles Anderson, and I'll see you again in the next one.